Very sure hand. That's interesting. I love that. Now, 10 o'clock. In fact, gone 10 o'clock. A lot of artists, but very quiet.
On a, ça a chuté à peut-être 80%, franchement.
C'est énorme.
Oui, énorme.
Very quiet. Been a strange year.
Now, it has to be said that the Olympic Games was a massive success. But while some athletes were going situs, altus, and fortus, swifter, higher, and stronger, we, up here in Montmartre, were pretty much falling asleep. Now, I'm happy though, because I managed to draw a gold medal winning Olympian. Chiara Leone won the gold medal in the shooting event for Switzerland, and this is my interpretation, this is my drawing of her. Photographer here was Benjamin Soland. Okay, let's start with a bit of a giggle. Let's start the review of 2024 with Evo.
So it's not often I film with caricatures, but this guy is exceptional. Really good artist. His name is Evo, and I've never seen such good caricatures drawn here at the Place de Tertre. So, just for a change, I'm coming here to film Evo, and I'm abandoning the portraitist because this guy here, he makes you even more real than a portrait.
Oh, he's starting with some pencil guidelines.
Getting proportions just in the same way you would do a portrait. Look how quickly that goes. It's already there. I don't know if you can see it very well. Now he's got the guy, and he's already there. I can see it. Now the little lady.
Ah, tu veux le mettre aussi? Oui. Ok. Oui, très bien. Oui, c'est intéressant. Enlève-les, je vais les rajouter après. D'accord?
Il a besoin des yeux. That's it. Great. Elle est belle. Wow, this is quick. Don't know if you can see. So he gets basically the composition done before he touches. He's using alcohol markers on Canson Bristol paper, but that's his preliminary sketch.
Now you can use photographic paper, either glossy or matte, but it's more expensive.
Now, just look how spectacular it goes from here on in. Very sure hand. Straight in with a very, it's a black marker. No messing about. We haven't had really good caricaturists here for some time. A good caricature should look more like the person than the person looks like, if you understand that. It's done at its best. It's a real art. And this guy is good. Look at that nose. It's really caught that little cute nose. It's the shape of the face as well. Il t'a donné les lunettes. Il t'a donné les lunettes.
Ah ouais?
Yeah. She wanted glasses. He's given him glasses. Oh, tu es trop mignon là. Oh, she looks very cute there. Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. I remember Ivo used to work, I remember years and years ago, at Beaubourg, which is what is also called the Centre Pompidou. And I vaguely remember him as an artist working down there. There's a piazza there. There's hardly anybody working there now. It's fantastic. Let's have a look. It's a lovely lady. Or even the hands. Wow. It's full body. A full body caricature. Now this is not as easy to do as it looked, as he's making it look. And she's almost done. Now the other guy. Bravo, c'est bien. Il y a des beaux gosses, c'est bien, non t'inquiète pas. Very good. I mean, really, this is almost like, I've seen portraits drawn worse than this. I mean, I've seen, you know, portraits rendered with less fidelity to the model. than Ivo is doing here. It's incredible, and he's got the humor. Of course, it's a caricature. I mean, they are enjoying themselves. And they can't see it yet. I love good art of all types, but it's caricature or silhouette or whatever. He's got a very sure hand. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing. It's quite... takes your breath away to see someone... I love it. I love it when someone knows what they're doing. You know, someone's really good at what their job. Super. And it's always a joy to see people go away happy with the work. Where so often, for this kind of work, they're a little bit disappointed because the artist is not good enough. And when you're getting drawings done to this level, I mean, this is really well drawn. You know? They're going to be very happy. This is something you can frame up and bring them joy for years to come. Look at the way he's done the hair. So economically, very nice. Very professional setup. If you look at the drawing board, it's exactly right. It means he can hold it without too much effort. Holding the board with one hand. He doesn't use an easel. These little touches. Oh, in comes the famous tower, I presume. Yes. It is, after all, the symbol of Paris. And that's a little signature. And that is fantastic. Now he's taking away the pencil drawing, the pencil lines, because I think maybe now. Very, very good. Very fast as well. Little nice. Oh wow! Here come the markers. These are Copic markers, and let's just zoom in a bit. These are expensive things to buy, and they actually don't last long because the paper absorbs them. I mean, you're using a Bristol. He's using Bristol, which doesn't absorb too much, but you can't do this for a cheap price because it's actually quite expensive, the materials. And the markers, the alcohol markers themselves are not cheap. First layer of kind of that warm yellow. Now in comes some nice saturated yellow. Because the guy has got a kind of gingery kind of beard. It's really professional job. Professional job. And you can see the setup. Everything is totally set up in the most professional way you can have it.
Though I doubt very much if he uses all of those markers. Now the game changer here really is the color. It gives the drawing so much more impact. Wow. Now, when I was a kid, you could always buy felt tip pens, and they were quite cheap, and they were water-based. These alcohol-based markers have proliferated on the art market recently. Of course, the main difference is they're very permanent. They're not going to fade, so they're worth the extra money.
At last, we've got a good caricaturist here. It's a joy. It's a joy to see. This place could be such an amazing open-air art workshop, as long as we've got the quality here. And now we're beginning to get quality, and I'm so happy about that. I probably won't be around to see the day when this place becomes a center for, well, I hope it will attract the higher artists of the highest quality, and not just be a place where souvenirs are sold, because the potential is there. If the organization, if the mairie organized things better, we could get really good artists here. It would be an amazing attraction for Paris. It is already. But we need more good art. That's wonderful. That's amazing. Amazing.
The trick when you're drawing caricatures is to not overstep the line. Unless you're drawing politicians, you want to avoid being cruel. Of course, with a beautiful young couple like this, it's pretty possible to do something offensive.
He's got these kind of purple shades, so the artist can fool around with those. I love the expression on the girl's mouth. I love the tattoo on his arm. It's excellent. It really is superb. This can give so much joy to people when it's done properly. So, for all you people hesitating to come, the Tertre is getting better and better and better every year. The artists are getting better. The only thing that's not so good is the weather. I love those glasses sitting just on top of her nose. And what is he going to do there? Wow. Very clever. very clever. Because those glasses are very dark, and
I'm not sure.
he has to have some kind of reflection there. He's not afraid to use some strong markers, and the values there are quite strong. It really jumps out of the paper. Parasols are going up next door because I think the weather is going to turn on us, unfortunately. This is about A3 size, but Ivo does even bigger size sometimes, but he always likes to do the whole body, and that is extra difficult. It's lovely work. Oh my goodness, it's lovely work. Maya, you came back, you guys.
Yeah.
I told you. Now they're all queuing up. Okay, I knew it would happen. That blue really, that surprised me. I thought he was going to leave it white. That really brings it out. Of course, blue is a complementary of a kind of that orangey yellow in the hair. So, it really, you got two complementaries sitting next to each other. It really brings it out. Great stuff. This is not just a caricature, it's a little bit of a work of art. And he's got her little pink top, except he's transformed it into a kind of bikini, which is quite cute, with a little décolleté there.
Okay guys, are you ready for the show? For the shock? Yes. 1, 2.
1, 2.
And 3.
What?
Now, we're on the subject of caricaturists. I have to tip my hat to an old friend called Denny, who used to work here and he used to draw most fabulous caricatures. In my humble opinion, he was also one of the best, and apart from that, he was a fabulous guy, terrific human being, and unfortunately he's no longer with us, but thanks for the memories, Denis. Now Pierre, I remember him, very good caricaturist, no longer here, no longer works here. And this gentleman, class act, passed away. A very good caricaturist. Now, these guys all knew what they were doing, but there weren't many of them. But fortunately, Ivo is here, and he's raised the bar. So, long live the funny men. Now, alcohol markers have become very popular as a medium at the Place de Tertre quite recently. Now, it was all started by this guy. His name is Maxime. Now, you can get a small idea of how he used to work from this clip. Unfortunately, it's a very small clip, but he used photographic paper and he used very big size, and his work was actually quite sensational. Now, since then, lots of artists have adopted the same technique, one of them being Maury, who does a more refined version of this style. Now, Maury is a veteran artist who's been here for many years, and he's done all kinds of, passed through all kinds of techniques, sanguine, estampe, you name it. Now, as you can see here, whatever medium he's using, he is an excellent draftsman. I do think, however, that with these new marker pens, he seems to be having fun, and it suits him. Let's have a look at his work.
Now you can hardly see that, but a very, very fine pencil line, because afterwards this is going to be an alcohol marker drawing. So you can see that he's making sure that everything is correct before he starts using those markers, because with those markers he can't change anything. So it's very, very fine. I mean, I can barely see it actually. Looks like it's a double portrait as well, because he's doing it so much to the left-hand side. I presume someone is coming in on the right-hand side.
So I think you've got the general idea. We're gonna fast forward a little bit to the point where he starts using marker pens, because this is getting a little bit invisible.
Interesting start. Yellow eyebrows. Clearly the color palette here is not going to be very predictable.
The lady has some very unusual kind of makeup around the eyes, which is, I'm going to be interested to see how more he deals with that. Very careful. This is typical Mori. He's extremely meticulous. Of course, he's got his line, his pencil drawing, don't forget. It's there to help him. You never see him do a head that doesn't look like a head. It's that anatomically it's always correct. Now he obviously knows which felt tips that he wants to use. I mean, he's done this before. You can just look at some of the models. This is how it can look. That's Tom Cruise, I think. There's another one down there. Quite a nice little sketch of, I think, an Asiatic lady. Now it's beginning to take shape. You can see the face. Good likeness already, actually. And a green. Interesting. Of course, the beauty of this is, you know, you don't have to follow exactly what's there. There's room for interpretation, and that's the whole point of it. You can see it take, I mean, he did the line drawing. Now the eyes are beginning to be drawn. That's a blue felt tip. There's a nice mixture of colors going on. It's nice clean medium. I've been using pastel all day, which is such a dirty medium, get covered in pastel. This you can do, and you can go home almost looking normal. Pastel, on the other hand, and charcoal, of course, are very messy mediums. It's another advantage of using this technique. It's super clean. Yeah, I like this. There's blue there coming in. So he's being, I mean, you know, he's being fairly liberal with his interpretation. This is almost like a paintbrush. Look at the wide how wide that tip is. They're literally painting here, you know. This looks fun. I think this is called Copic, these
Markers.
It's got a short handle to it. Nice and pleasant to hold in the hand, I imagine. That's a kind of mauve color. Now that's the nearest thing to a flesh color we've had so far. So you can see that the face is full of many colors. It's interesting. Especially shadow areas, you can often see all kinds of colors in shadow areas. Ears are usually pretty much as red as can be, but this is very fine, very pleasant. Interesting. That looks like a... Oh, it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. I guess he's building up the values slowly. Yeah, that pinky ear. Very clever. And it looks like a lot of fun, this, actually.
Now this is completely new to me. This is the first time I've filmed this technique, and I've never tried these markers before myself either. He's using a special paper.
I don't know where you get this, but I presume it's photographic paper. Quite expensive. I thought he was using Bristol, but it's not Bristol. Oh, that's... Oh, now he's using a little graphite pencil. I presume just to define the eye. Unless I'm mistaken, it's like graphite. And come the pupils. Now this is where you're getting the stronger values coming in, obviously. You can already see the impact of that. The lady's got quite dark eyes, dark brown eyes. I'm making a big feature of that. Again, the pencil again, just a touch, just to darken the iris area. Pupil, of course, is probably the only black thing in the truly black area in the painting. Let's blow that out. Have a look at that eye. Let's see. Again, pencil, just to help with the definition. Soft pencil, that. Maybe a 2B or 3B, maybe 4B. Now if you punch that in, a lot of detail there. this is a liner. Using a liner, very fine liner. Fine black liner. Probably 0.1 or God knows, very, very fine. There's incredible detail for the eyelashes. That's kind of flesh colored marker. It's very meticulous, actually. I didn't know. This is actually highly detailed. I don't think he's going to do that all over. I think it's probably just for the eyes. Oh, he's defining the eyebrows. That looks great. You're building it up slowly. Just slowly building it up, carefully. I love that effect with a brush like that. It's quite nice. Almost like watercolor, but it's a little bit easier to control because actually you're drawing it with it, you know, and you don't have to mix anything. It's, the colors are already mixed. It's just a question of, but still it takes a lot of skill. Looking good. I love that color. I love that color. She's got brown eyes, but you know, he's exaggerating a little bit. It's quite, it really makes it pop out like that. Very nice. Really looks good fun to do. I think this artist has found his medium now. I mean, he's experimented with a lot of different techniques, but this seems to suit him, and it's a successful style as well. People like it. Once he gets going, I'm pretty sure there'll be other people sitting down afterwards. Again, just going around there, there's that highlight to bring out, darken the eyes, just to get that, you can get those eyes to work for you. Eyes are so important. And you can see he's bang on there. I mean, they look as if they belong to each other, those two eyes. There are some artists get one eye right and the other one just doesn't look as if it fits. But this is perfect. Very detailed, my goodness. Precision. This one is more stylized, much more stylized, you can see. We live in an age where with so many new mediums coming. You can work on iPads, you've got these new felt tips, you've got all kinds of different techniques that can be used now. It's amazing. Oh, the little nose ring. Just get a little bit more pink into those lips. Looks great. Very interesting. Like I say, it's a little bit like an aquarelle, but you don't have the mix your colors. Like it's no water involved, and pen is always a little bit easier to control than a brush. You know what I mean? It depends whether you're a painter or you're a draftsman. I mean, there's a guy here, Majid, who really is very clever with a brush. Maury is a draftsman. This is a kind of drawing, but in color. It's a very effective technique, actually. Now this is where you can go a little bit mad, I guess, and start freaking out a bit with this, because the basics are there. There's more flesh tones coming in. These are warm colors, but he's got some blues down, so they kind of all work together. He's got some cool colors there and warm colors, kind of nicely bouncing off each other. Now a bit of artistic license, but that I guess is the highlights. She's putting those because she's got quite dark hair, and I presume those are kind of highlights. You're not going to leave it blonde. Those will eventually be the highlights, and then I presume, unless I'm getting ahead of myself, that later he'll darken the hair a little bit. Looking good. I'm not sure what that one is. He's shaking it around a bit. I love that one. There's this I think it's Copic, I'm not sure what. It really is like a paintbrush. It's great. Quite easy to handle. And it's just building it up again, flesh tones, carefully. I mean, he goes very careful. You don't want to wreck it. Again, you can see the form. It's very. It's very three-dimensional. Making sure he follows the planes of the face. I'm not sure what that is, whether it's white or... I presume it is white. Oh, he's putting in the lady's... the lady's very special eye decoration. That's running a bit, but you can wipe it out. So there you can use a white. Interesting. That's quite effective. I was wondering how he's going to do that. Actually, you don't even see that it's very clever, that. Stuff here. Let's go back. Wow, now it's beginning to get a little bit exciting. Look at this. This is going a little bit wild. That's interesting. I love that. I mean, it's not black. Is he using kind of violet color? It's all interpretation. Very nice. I mean, it is stylized, you know, this is not an academic drawing, but it's interesting. It's the whole idea is to... hair is something you want to treat in a very lively, free way anyway. You don't want... Yeah, this is... Look how free that is. Keep it loose and lively. That's very clever. Get a step back. There's the lady. Very, very nice. Well, this is the first one I've seen. I'm quite impressed, I must say. First one I've seen in this technique. It looks like a darker. Oof! Wow! We're getting in some strong values now. Kind of Prussian blue going in there. Very dark. I can see some real definition. Interesting. Wow. Gonna have fun with this. It looks like a lot of fun. It really does. I have to try this. It's really a lot of fun. He doesn't stay long with any particular marker. I mean, he's moving on to another one. He's switching them around a lot. But I think that was very effective, that blue. Now a kind of umber color, dark, burnt umber. Her hair is brown. That's quite clever. It's slowly bringing it out, actually, capturing. You can see now how those yellows work as highlights. Creating some movement there, that's important. Yeah, it's very clever, that. Nice and free. I like the hair. I like the treatment of the hair. That's another colour that's quite important. I just define that jawline. Very subtle. Yeah, kind of little light grey. Very subtle. Again, the jawline. There's another blue one. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. Lovely. It's nice. It's very clever technique. It's very new technique. This. And this is the only guy who does it. Wow. Nice.
Oh, it's beautiful.
He forgot something. Freckles, I think.
Probably.
Freckles. Freckles. No, don't count. It's freckles. Bravo, Maria. Intéressant. Hein? C'est très libre, c'est intéressant. Hein? C'est vraiment un plaisir. Je vois que vraiment tu... Non, mais you enjoyed it, you know? Magnifique. Hein? Bravo. There is a second person coming in. He'll be easier, I think. He's going to have fun with the hair there. He's got great hair, huh?
Yeah. And a lot of hair.
This gentleman here, handsome looking fella. I'll start with the same technique with that pencil. Now, as we can't see this very much, I'm not going to film this bit. I'm going to wait till he goes to the felt tip because I don't know how much battery I've got. So I'm going to wait a little bit and film the rest of it once he's done the pencil sketch, because we can barely see this. But you know the principle, you saw it with the first one. He's basically putting an outline in so that when he goes to the felt tips, there are no big errors. Again, very, very precise drawing.
bit of artistic license here. I mean, these blues are almost certainly not there in reality, but you don't have to slavishly copy nature. You've got to be playful with your colors, and these little blue touches work.
There are colors all over the face. I mean, these will work well when he gets the warm colors in. The blue and the warmer colors will react well together, as you can see they did with the other one. That's the kind of mauve color, again defining the eyes. I presume he's going to. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, it's lovely colors, these, you know, very interesting. These are cool colors going in at the moment. And cool colors recede. Yeah, you can see the face, much more masculine face. He's got it, I mean, he's got the structure of it.
He's kind of reinforcing the drawing very gradually and very carefully.
Very decorative style. Very colourful. I mean, it's a lovely thing to hang on the wall, this. Yeah.
Very, very good.
Ça va. Even though it's very light colours, you still managed to capture that solidity, you know, bring out a little bit of that sculptural effect. You know, very light colours, but you can still suggest structure. And these flesh colours, I get the feeling he's a little bit freer with this face, because it's a masculine face. He's not. With a masculine face, you can more or less go in there and be a little bit more bold.
Masculine features are usually stronger, easier to see, in fact.
Looking good. I like this one, looking good. It's nicely composed, it fits on the paper.
And this is a double portrait, and these two faces have to sit well with each other, and they do. Now, you could argue, with the benefit of hindsight, that the two faces would actually be better pushed a little bit to the left, where there's quite a bit of redundant space. But there again, maybe that's what makes it work. This management of space is something you've got to be really aware of from the beginning of the drawing.
The model is very good, rock solid. Defining the lips. It's actually very quick to consider. I'm not sure. I haven't timed it, but it's pretty quick. Once the pencil sketch is done, the rest of it looks like a lot of fun. Let's just zoom in on that. Begin to define those eyebrows.
Of course, the possibilities are endless using these markers. And I hope this drawing actually encourages you to have a go and see what happens. You don't have to do it in this particular way. And whatever happens, you will have fun.
It's perfect. Those eyes are perfect. They work again. Absolutely. They synchronize. They actually synchronize. I don't know what to call these, whether they're markers or felt tips or what. Brown eyes again. Now that's the graphite pencil. So basically repeating the same procedure as before. Taking time with the eyes like you did in the other one. You need that focal point, I think. And that detail there in the eye, it allows you to be a little bit freer with the rest of it.
Now, he has to be attentive here because, you know, a high level of precision is required, drawing the eyes and eyelashes and stuff like that. But in fact, when you think about it, all he's really doing here is reinforcing the pencil drawing that he did earlier. So there's no real stress. Basically, he can enjoy what is essentially quite a fun medium all the way through, because he's got this safety net of the pencil drawing. Even at this stage, he's still using that little stub of a pencil. So there are no real rules. You're not in the Academy de Beaux-Arts here. This is playtime. I remember as a kid fooling around with felt tip pens. And it was great fun. They were cheap, they were super colorful. I got hours and hours of joy out of those old felt tips. Now, the difference today is the manufacturers provide us with a high quality, highly permanent product, which is a professional standard. And you can get markers of all different types of shape, of size, of color. It's become a very versatile medium, but I would still argue that these markers are not suited to drawing academic style portraits. You're not going to paint a Rembrandt with these markers, but they will enable you to draw great stylized, color-centric, decorative portraits, which may be visually very impactful. The artist has used the wide Copic marker in the hair of the lady to complement the high detail elsewhere in the drawing, and this is clever use of the materials that the artist has at hand. This is smart art. The key is to identify what these markers are good at and not try and make them do what they can't do. A great deal of observation, careful observation and energy has been employed in this portrait. But it still looks nice and fresh and effortless. That's good. We don't want, as spectators, evidence of sweat and suffering You know, we want more ecstasy and not the agony. So, this has been a rather pleasant visual journey. The artist hasn't taken us down every single side street and alleyway. He's left us something for the imagination. Less has become a little bit more.
You know, when you're doing this kind of thing, you don't have to draw the exact. You know, you suggest things. It's suggestion, and the eye of the spectator will fill in what's missing. That's the fun of it. If you allow the spectator a little bit of room to interpret, the drawing is better. It's just lively. Wow, that's nice. Going down. Oh, that was clever. Very clever. Just in one line, one movement, he defined the outline of the face. Very sure hand. Nice little grey
Marker.
Nice and free. Very, very clever. Darken it a bit. Yeah, I can see that coming. Works well. Works very well. Yeah, very nice. Some wild stuff coming in, maybe. Some dark tones. Bit of that curly hair. It really is like a paintbrush. Again, the whole thing is to suggest. You don't have to draw every single hair. It's suggesting it. It's just
allowing the viewer to fill in the gaps.
You don't want to kill it at this stage. It's a portrait, but it's also a painting. You know, it's that's lovely. Very nice. He's got curly hair, so I mean that's suggested. Yeah, dark. Some quite dark ones coming in now. That blue works very well. That blue works very nicely.
Just check out what the drawing looks like in black and white. The draftsmanship cannot be faulted.
There's a likeness there, and it's a well-observed drawing. Nice. Now he's thinking about stopping, I think. Or maybe he's pushing on a bit. There is always that moment where you've got to decide, when do I stop? Oh, that was clever. That's nice, that blue. Very nice. Works very well. Very beautiful drawing. And I think that's it. I could feel it was about to end. Bravo, Maury. Excellent drawing. Left it just when he... I think if he'd have done any more, it would have killed it. Just perfect. Lively and so beautiful. Very clever technique. Very beautiful. Like it? Gusta?
Sí.
Okay.